that one guy in chat.
But yes, again, if you guys want to go through the rosters one more time, look at that. Wardell not playing as a Silva, playing as a Jet. I love it. I want to see it. So Wardell, Hayes, Cutler, Sabrosa, and Drone versus Mikael, Nguyen, Player 1, GMD, and Effys. And it starts off with the attackers of Player 1 and company of Gen.G. Early aggression to take the orb at C.
Seeing just a little bit of pause now coming out from Gen.G, not really pushing too aggressively towards any point on the map. It does look like we'll see TSM favoring that garage area, though. They have the camera set up on C, right, Alex? So they don't really need to worry about too much there. They just need to worry about that garage. And towards B, they have a tripwire. So worst comes to worst, the tripwire breaks, they know someone's paying attention to it, or the tripwire, somebody runs through it. But regardless, we'll probably see that camera. There it is. Now we're going to see the turn. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, I do like that. At least a Molly to come down. Sabrosa's going to get the first Molly kill. First kill of this game onto Mikael. Effy's trying to go here with the burst of the classic. Connects onto Wardell with the headshot to make it a 4-on-4. While it's been smoked out towards spawn, we are also planting the spike as well with 4 players looking towards that back. It's going to be probably a flash for them to peek out and a trade to come across. But it's still going to be a 2 versus 2 at the end of the day as Cutler gets to pick onto Effys. Both of them stuck right in the middle of the site. They can't look for a better angle, nor they can't because it's planted in the back, so they have to play close. At least Player 1 gets 1 and 2 onto Cutler and Hayes, and Gen.G gets the pistol round.
Yeah. So I like the idea coming out from TSM there. Sabrosa playing with that smoke grenade, that Molotov. He drops it towards the end of long C as the attackers are coming out. Does a little bit of damage there. But really what ends up happening is Gen.G calls the audible. I saw Effys. He's planting for spawn side. Why is he planting for spawn side? I look at the radar. 3 members are now moving towards spawn. They're getting ready to aggress on, take that fight off of Effy's concussion. So he does that. He rocks them. The team takes the fight. It was a great effort out of Gen.G.
And what I did like as well from their defensive stance was have 3 players play inside garage. Why? Because usually in pistol rounds, pubs or whatnot, we seem to like to work towards C, and that's exactly what happened towards that pistol before there. So they have a way to hold any aggression towards garage because people like to take control of garage at the start for a split into C. And if they lose that fight, well, they can't. They have 3 players there. A tripwire towards B because B side is actually very hard to take, especially when you have to watch angles on both C side and A side to get a spike plant. So I like how that was played, but it was still Player 1 in company of Gen.G that were stronger with the pistols. And now they're stronger once again as they upgraded into the machine guns. They get a spike plant at a default spot this time. They have a marshal up at the same time too. As GMD was the first one to get that kill. Now that spike has been planted. It's smoked out for quite a while, so that gives a great position for the attackers to just hold their grounds. It's just going to be very, very hard right now for TSM to retake this, especially on a 5-on-3.
Yeah, it's an equal round. If they get a few kills, that'd be great. I don't even think that's going to happen. Cutler gets 1, but, I mean, that's about it here. Silva going down. This should be it. Cutler grabbing that Spectre now, running out. I assume. No, he's going to keep going. There's a bit of damage, however. Maybe somebody gets caught hanging out, but I don't think that's the case.
I wonder if because Nguyen has the marshal, he's going to be the operator for the team. And I would love to just see a showdown of Asian operators representing the Asian operators of Valorant of North America.
Oh, man. There you go. Asian operating month or whatever.
I love it. I love it. So it's going to be the gun round coming in now for the defenders of TSM. No upgrades really for Gen.G. So they're keeping their Bulldog, they're keeping 2 Spectres, and they are also keeping a Marshal. And it starts off, looks like it's going to be an early smoke. Once again, possibly to take control of that orb. And you can see how it's been placed. 1 at window. That was probably from the defenders. And then 1 at the entrance of C so that the Brimstone on the attacker could pick that up. So that's going to be Player 1. Effys is going to meet up with him as well. And they're looking for the split towards C. So they're not working for the orb. They're just going to try to overtake the site early.
Yeah, it does look like you're going to be able to get in there. We do see a little bit of contact from Wardell, but he's going to go down. That flashbang now. Another flashbang as well. That side is theirs here. And if there was that fast, we would have seen a little bit of it go down, but Haste is able to take down 2 now, Alex. A third! Haste is on fire here.
Vandal gang, hat trick coming across, and the spike has yet to be planted. So that now is Guimon trying to flank towards the back, wins that fight versus Cutler at least. So now, as he peeks towards that back, Sabrosa was holding up with the crossfire with his teammates too, as they're holding towards logs. Now leaving only Nguyen, the last person standing, with the Marshal, being spammed through the smoke from 3 players. It could pretty much be done, at least for the round. So what you're going to look for here as Nguyen is just some economical damage, trying to see if they're going to chase after him for a kill as well. And you know how TSM is. They like to hunt for those kills, as we've witnessed on that previous match, but Drone still manages to win that fight. So 2-1, TSM puts one up on the scoreboard. Losing 2 players are not so bad, rather. They could probably drop 2 guns. Yes, indeed they can. So we'll see what's going to be the situation now for Guimon and company.
Looks like we'll see Drone getting... Okay, so Drone's probably going to go for the orb here. Maybe he's going to try and get Cutler the orb. I'm interested to see who actually gets it, because Cutler is technically closer to it than Drone is. Well, let's see what they actually go for here.
Oh yeah, Lex, thanks for calling me out. I totally forgot about Som. That's also the an operator. A lot of Asian operators. Nonetheless, though, Effie gets the first kill, and that was aggression towards Garage. So Sabrosa tried to go for a surprise peek here to try to get information towards that window, but they were still holding back towards spawn. So Effie's does get the heal, and it's going to be still, no matter what, a very slow round for them to start with.
Yeah, but now what you're going to see is that they're making the other team sweat. It's on the other team now. What do you guys want to do? How are you guys going to play the round? As you're seeing the regroup happen now, from the Gen.G side, they're heading towards Long C. Look, they pulled Sage out. Now, Sage has to rotate back into the site. The ultimate comes in onto the site, and there should be Gen.G fairly easily moving into C.
But thankfully, just from one single Frost Orb, that slowed it down for quite a bit. Hayes is going to be in a great position if anybody tried to aggress before. But as it smoked down an Orb, he's just going to walk back. Drone, though, does manage to get the kill onto Mikael. And that was a kill from a flanker inside, a lurker inside Garage. Wardell looking for a big flank, but he loses the fight onto Guimon on that big flank. So now Nguyen with that operator. That's 1 and 2 all the way in the back of the spawn. And they are dropping 1 by 1, leaving only Drone, the last man standing. I think at this position now, you're going to try to save your gun.
Drone's going to stay up here. See how this one works out. This is huge. Drone needs to stay up on this one. If he stays up, they can buy. He needs to not go down. And this is what I call the NA save here. It's, are you going to go for the frags when you should be saving your weapon? And Drone, wisely so, he's going to sit in the corner and not look for anything.
So it should be some sort of a mixed buy if they want to here for the defenders, because they could play off Drone's Phantom. And with the money that they have, I think with a couple of shares, it could still be a lot of power.
I'd say just do a light buy, see what can happen. I mean, go for the orbs, try and make something happen on that end. I don't think they're going to be able to get the orb. It does look like Effie's is going to be protecting that A orb. We'll see.
Well, now it's going to be Cutler playing towards that sewer, so he's going to play the A site pretty much solo. 2 guys towards B. As I was looking at Sage before, but looks like he's going to move over to support Wardell, and that is going to be Hayes for a crossfire towards the C side. Meanwhile, though, I think because Drone is actually in that cubby of B, so they're looking for lots of aggression, leaving Garage pretty much open right now.
Oh, there it is. He spots everything.
Yeah, he even tagged one on top of that because I heard that that camera tag even an owl drone, at least on the attacker side, to try to clear up towards sewers. That's going to force now the attackers to fall back.
Yeah, that was, I mean, at least, what, 20 more seconds burned off the clock here. So by the time we even see them approaching a bomb site, it's probably going to be 30 seconds.
And now it's Wardell close range at the Garage. He does have the Sheriff, but they are walking slowly into B. But everybody's rotated across now for TSM. This could be very huge right now in terms of trades. That's very much needed for them to try to get a spike plant inside B. And that is speaking about Gen.G right now. The wall is going to come up flashpoint as well. Wardell on that flank. That's one. Trying to connect with the other ones with no avail, but at least there's 18 seconds left on the clock. He's wasting that time. He actually kept them on their toes, and Sabroza and Drone goes for a double flank across and a crossfire for the 3 kills.
Yeah, see, by the time they got the executing, there was 30 seconds. 30 seconds at that point, that's where the flaws start happening. You know what I mean? Because now you're concentrating on taking the bomb site, Alex, and you got to take the bomb site. Inevitably, you're going to have to take one fight. If you don't trade that guy instantly, that's probably 5 to 7 seconds you're going to take just trying to get into that fight to get that kill, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, on top of that, you have the rotations coming in. You don't have much utility left. And then on the flip side, you have the flank coming in from Wardell, which you can't really protect against because you lost people at the entrance. So you need to reinforce that to get into the site. So it's like, when you burn the clock in the way that TSM just did to Gen.G, that's when you get to generate the mistakes out of players.
And you can see when the time is down and the time is low and you still try to go in towards B, you saw how hard that was for you to try to get in and try to get a spike plant. You get flank from mid side, you get flank from both sides, A and C is just too difficult. So now into this round, it's still going to be a gun round for the for both teams at this point, because he did have a force buy being won here by TSM.
Yeah.
And they have a couple of ultimates actually on the defender side to have a really good round on their end.
We are going to see that wall get broken here. Okay, here we come. A little bit of ultimate from Phoenix as he's running through mid. Wardell, there's that jet you wanted to see.
Yep.
He's going to be taken down.
Unfortunate there. Wallbang headshot by player 1, but Frost Orbs coming down from the stage of Haze. So that's going to keep them back, and they're going to take garage control. First one, crossfire setup. Sabroza, though, I don't think was affected by the garage, so he gets 2 kills with the Phantom holding close doorway.
Yeah, and he's got the spike right now. Alex Phoenix is going to be defending against player 1, but it's going to be Drone able to take him down. So a tie game is what we have now. I mean, this is a great start to a BO3, Alex. I don't know what more people can ask for.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So it's we've seen it before earlier on the last matchup, TSM versus Immortals. It went back and forth in the first few rounds, and then TSM started to slowly get away and take the lead once the money was right. This could be one of those moments, though, because right now we'll see an Eagle coming in from the attacker side. And if they're able to win the next gun round after that, then they're going to look comfortable in their map choice here, at least in my opinion, on Haven. But it's going to start things off here with an aftershock. No, I think that was a fault line, sorry, towards long A, just to try to assess towards sewers after that smoke that came down towards A main.
Doing it on the orb every single time, so you can't instant collect it. Gives you a little bit of breathing room.
Mm-hmm. But they're going to go for a quick execute. It's just going to be them smoking, but Drone is holding around the corner to get this kill onto the Silva. Easy one here. Well, not as easy, but at least manages to get the kill on it to GMD. At least gets a wallbang kill onto Mikael. So I think that was a shot through Silva, through Sage, sorry, to get that kill. At least to get the spike plant. That's what they wanted. That was the goal, and they've achieved it.
I feel like Drone could have won the round.
Yeah. If he waited, probably.
Ooh.
Definitely.
Not able to connect on that. That's a big shot to miss here. This retake's going to be very difficult. Let's see how they pull this one off. It looks like they're even trying to get aggressive. Oh, nice wall.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, back towards spawn. And you do have a Blade Storm coming in from Wardell as well. He spots it, goes for the right click, but does not connect. That clock is still ticking down. They're still holding their ground so far, and finally they managed to break through the defense and get the defuse.
Yeah, it was very close, so look at how close it's about to be here. I do believe they have it.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Just on it. 3 seconds, technically. I mean, so if we saw a little bit, if there was one more ability, let's say, you know what I mean, that Gen.G had to hold them up with something, that round could have been theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there was just nothing that they had left, no weapon that they could do now taking those fights. Unfortunate round, but for TSM, I mean, I think it could have been cleaner. I think Drone had the opportunity to be a little bit more trigger disciplined and let that guy run into sight, see who else is with him, because he didn't get checked.
No.
But it's just the way it turned out.
I was just lucky that he was also fighting against pistols after that, after getting that first kill.
Yeah, he might have only got one. Exactly.
So we're going to try to get a entry right now into the C sign, following Nguyen with the operator, though. Wardell decided to move towards A instead of playing on the top of boxes of C.
Mm-hmm. And what they did essentially on the Gen.G side is they smoked off the top of that C side, and that gave no info whatsoever
from the camera.
side. And now with the ultimate coming in, look at this. They pushed them all the way into a retake scenario already here, Alex.
Yeah, this is the second time to do it, and then they're going to smoke towards spawn right after that, and then get a spike plant. So they're at least spiking it for long this time. So instead of trying to stay inside the site, they're going to plant for long and then fall back at the same time and have a couple of players stay inside C. So Nguyen right now, he hears the operator shot from Wardell through this smoke in spawn side. And here's that battle. They both whip. And it's 3 operators going head-to-head. And it's actually going to be Sabrosa that capitalizes. Wardell, unfortunately, unclicked on his scope, and GMD picks him off. Now Drone getting 2 kills. It is going to be player 1. He does have a molly set up, actually, that should land onto the spike.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Oh, a big flank coming in from Mikael. They never saw that coming. So that was a wasted ult from the Phoenix, and as well as the Sage is going to fall down as well. So that's going to leave now Sabrosa picked off by player 1. What a flank.
That was huge. That was huge. And once again, we have a tie game. Mikael, I mean, coming in with that flank. Good idea from Drone there with that ultimate trying to clear it out, but nobody was watching his back. And you know what? They get caught by the flank. That timing was perfect. It's going to be 4-4. Still another buy round, though. Money's good.
It's a very close first half, actually. It's really good to see how this is panning out so far. In your opinion here, Evan, do you see this map of Haven being pretty balanced or more defender-sided?
I definitely... Ooh, nice shot. I definitely am more comfortable on the attacker side and feel like I can pick up more rounds, but people say it's definitely defender side.
Uh-oh. Poor Sabrosa. They wasted the ultimate. Oh, no, he stays alive! Oh, that's sick. He's going to get a heal on top of that. That was well done.
Yeah.
And then they spot him as player 1 was trying to run through that cyber cage. He gets that first frag. They have a rolling thunder towards their garage and an orbital strike as well. They managed to just destroy everybody at the entrance of C and garage.
Yeah, there was a lot of forcing in that round from the Gen.G side. They're looking to make their presence known. I mean, they forced the cage, they forced the mid wall, the ice orb, the garage wall, the ice orb. In my opinion, I think they were just looking to frag out, and honestly, they just got absolutely stomped.
Yeah, it started off well for them too, though, because Nguyen actually did get the first kill onto Sabrosa trying to go for an early peek at garage. Sabrosa at this point has been punished twice trying to go early outside those garage doors.
When the Hunter's Fury went off, they pretty much picked up speed off the Hunter's Fury, assuming that it was going to be able to pick up one, maybe another kill.
Yeah. Oh, Wardell, nice shot. Wall bang onto Mikael, who was trying to jump across. He's going to try to re-peek. Flashpoint coming across from that breach, forced to fall back. But at least Drone is close as sewers to help him out. So early headshot onto Nguyen. I think they should be... Yeah, they are on an eco right now for the attackers. And they just want to get the... Oh! Collateral coming in from Wardell. Trying to go for a third one, but GMD was a little bit quicker on the trigger. And finally, it's traded off. They'll be able to salvage that operator, but... That chat happening right now in this Twitch channel that's been talking about Wardell, somebody actually finally gave him a cup of water. He's ready to go.
God damn. That was quite the sight there. As we move towards the end of this first half here, Alex, we're definitely seeing the TSM side really just start taking a hold of this first half, right? We're seeing them really confident with their peaks, with their pushes. Not to say that Gen.G isn't, but we're just seeing TSM really just get in their face now.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be nice to see if the aggression continues on the attacker side. Just continue to be aggressive as the way that they've been playing on the defender side. So
yeah, we're seeing it on the defender side here. Look at Drone. It's got a very nice crossfire. Well, it was going to be a double up, I thought, but Cypher not really playing with him.
Surprise. So he falls down. Curveball to fall back, so he won't peek off that. So that's actually very nice to see as well. When you get the first kill, sometimes you get the adrenaline. You're like, oh, I'm going to get the second one because the first one was crisp and easy. But he goes for the curveball and decides to fall back and use the numbers advantage here for TSM, even though I think at this point, they still have a lot of money in their bank. So they just want to try to get as many rounds as possible. Getting the economy doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and we are going to see a res now towards that short A area. But I mean, at the same time, they burned a res. There's 45 seconds on the clock here, Alex. So by the time they even start moving into the site, we're going to be looking at 25, maybe 30 seconds again. It's looking good for the side of TSM.
And they're still going to try to refocus up towards this A side. So tripwire to break, and that's going to be the call for the run out. Nice flashpoint, actually. Drone was partially blinded. Wardell gets the kill onto Win. Was that actually through the Cyber King? No, okay, there was a gap there. So we get the second one here onto Effie's. Does not connect onto the third. Dashes away as GMD gets picked off. One more to go. He's actually stuck. 14 seconds left on the clock. And he went for the Phantom Knives instead. So the Blade Storm totally nullified. 10 seconds left on the clock as Mikhail was able to get 2 kills on top of that. A triple kill on the board. And it's a 1 versus 1. Versus the Brimstone. Versus Yassine. Versus Sabroza, who's been on point so far this tournament.
A couple Montreal Canadians going against each other right here. But no, I mean, that round was looking like TSM was going to have a great hold. But shout out to Mikhail. I mean, he takes advantage of the individual peaks there towards those 2 A players in spawn. And it does look like he's even going to close this one out with the 4th. What a round out of Mikhail. And Gen.G, well, they're right back into it. Look at him shaking his screen.
Well, that was a sick round by Mikhail. It should have been a round 1 by Gen.G at that point. I think Wardell had the great position.
With your accent?
Sorry?
Pronounce it with your accent again?
Mikhail?
Okay, cool. For those of you that don't know, Alex has an accent that he does when he's back home in Montreal, then he has the accent that he does when he's casting.
It's when I cast French names. I have French in me. I also have Vietnamese. I'm a 100% Vietnamese, born and raised in Montreal. So trilingual. So we have some good times. But nonetheless, though, it all came down on that 1 versus 1 from a tripwire that allowed Mikhail to actually do the whole runaround to get a higher ground and better angle too. So sometimes, like I mentioned before, it's not always about the fragging. It's just simple abilities that could turn the round around for you.
Exactly. I mean, Mikhail, that was in that clutch though. I mean, there was the ability usage, but I'd also have to commend him on his fragging, right? Because at the end of that, towards the end, it was a 3-on-1, I do believe, that he just instantly turned into that 1-on-1. So that was a huge effort out of him. But you're right, that tripwire allowed him to get in position towards that A heaven to finish up that round. And as we near the 45-second mark, we are seeing the first shots being fired and execute coming in onto this A bomb site.
That's right. Wardell's already there with Cutler. Wardell looking on the left side of the cyber cage, but you can see how they're falling back from this because they still have a lurker. They still have actually a Silva making his way up towards C. And look at that. Nobody rotated from Sabroza and company. They're staying inside C. I think they read them. So they're going to go into the B bomb site. Yes, they'll get a spike plant, but it's going to be a full retake from both C side and A side to try to win this round. So now 17 seconds left on the clock. We will get that spike down. And it's going to be very hard here for Gen.G to hold it. Yes, they'll make it back out on the outside, so it has to come down to watching those flanks at the same time, and Wardell gets picked off by Mikhail as he was trying to go for that dash up in the air. And that was a nice shot. Reaction time coming through, just a little bit of like a dart towards a balloon. Nguyen, though, with the operator onto Hayes, who's playing it towards that window side, so it's up to Drone and company. So Drone, Sabroza, and Cutler. Drone cannot connect, unfortunately, on a spray to the second kill, and they cannot move forward with that. So we end the first half 6-6.
Yeah, when we look back on that last round, though, Al, it really came down to that audible. They pulled off the A bomb site. They went to B. I'm not sure what went down there in the sense that they left that B site completely open. I know they smoked the front of it. Maybe they thought the smoke was going to last a little bit longer and give them a little bit more space to rotate over. But at the end of the day, we saw them being able to penetrate pretty much uncontested. Gen.G was able to get that bomb down. They get into that spike down, get into a great post plant scenario, and they're able to take the round.
So now we're switching sides. We will have Gen.G playing on the defenders, and TSM looking as they were looking not so bad for a few rounds, but then a little bit of a blunder since. I'm going to keep saying Mikhail, but some people are saying it's Michael, but I'm just going to keep saying Mikhail. But since Mikhail got that 3 versus 1, it kind of deflated them on those last 2 rounds. So I want to see if they're going to be able to bring this back here for TSM on the attacker side, especially at this point. Wardell is AFK, so I don't know if he has internet problems. Maybe that's why he was basically 1-7 on that first half until he actually got some kills with the operator.
Canadian internet, it's brutal.
Dude, maybe that's why my internet has been lagging out and I sounded like a robot sometimes.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to it. I'm not going to say no to it.
Yeah.
It does look like Wardell's back, however. Maybe he's still lagging, though.
Yeah, so he is back, and you could see from how they're set up before these barriers come back up, they're really looking for an A aggression at the beginning of this round. What do they have to work with that? So far, they don't really have a breach, really, to go for. Okay, no, they're just going to split off for something more default now.
Well, the clock isn't even running yet. So, let's see where the clock decides to go. And we also have 5 ghosts on the side of TSM here. So, interesting approach to the round.
Yeah. 8 ghosts in the server, which is not so bad. You don't really mind for the armor at that point when you know that your opponents most often are going to buy those ghosts as well. I do like the fact that the Sage on the defender side stayed with the classic. I think because she went for a wall. Yeah, so wall and 2 frost orbs too.
I mean, that Sage wall, those orbs, you gotta have them. You gotta have them.
Especially for a solo C. So we're back though. Wardell, hopefully, probably he needed to go to the washroom. He had too much stress, and now he's relaxed. And we're just gonna see him frag out. But Cutler is the first point of contact, and he gets headshotted by Mikael to start things off at long A. As he falls back here inside this A side, little do they know there was actually a second player behind that double stack. So if he actually loses that fight, nobody was going to check there. They could get more kills. But TSM are going to decide to work towards the C-bomb side instead. Mikael and Nguyen doing their job on both sides of the map, and TSM are just once again dropping like flies. One more player to go. It's Wardell.
Yeah, and he stops. That was great. Mikael taking the fight there towards A. And then essentially when we move over to B, the ice orb comes down. And what that ice orb does is, we were talking about it, right? It's not so much, it essentially halts any progress there at that point. And that's when the rotations are able to come in. That's when the team gets involved. And that's how Gen.G finds success in the round. 7-6 is our scoreline here. And actually, we're not going to see too much pistol buying going on. Rightfully so, as you want to go into that first weapon round with essentially as many abilities as you can get.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're looking at Drone right now, he only had his hot hands. He didn't have any other abilities being purchased from at least pistol round. Maybe he used it already. So they're pretty low on the economy for credits. You want to use as much as you can. Even into the next round, there's a possibility you might not be able to get full shields if you want to go for full abilities. And it starts off here with a quick push inside B, but quickly denied by Effie's in player 1. So first of all are Wardell and also Drone. While we are moving up towards Garage to at least trying to get a spike plan, but Nguyen is waiting there in the back of the site, and a close range Marshall onto Sabrosa as well. Thankfully there, no shields being purchased, so that's a one-shot kill. And the last one to fall down is Cutler inside B.
Yeah, very, very nice eco round there coming up from the Gen.G side, and I would like to commend that Marshall work. That was mighty fine marshalling, if I do say so myself, Alex. All right.
It was really good. So far, like, we've seen some good shots coming in from Nguyen.
I'm looking at the buy right now from the Gen.G side. It looks like they're going to keep most of their weapons. So this is essentially, I call a throwaway round. Not that they're looking to, just lose the round, but they're okay with losing it. But if they win, hey, it's all the best. If they lose, they can still buy going into next.
Yeah, and the idea there too is like you lose the gun round or you lose this round here. If you're able to take a couple of players down with you, they're going to be on force buys, drops into the next where they might not be able to get full shields once again, not full abilities, while you're able to go everything full on your end, right? So you have a chance to reset and probably pick up 2 rounds on top of that because you win the next one, you're forcing them on the eco.
Yeah, and what we're seeing right here from Sabrosa is essentially just smoking the front of long C. That eliminates all information for anybody playing in that C area. And what it allows for the opponents is if they want to, really, they can sneak up and burst through that smoke as it's about to dissipate. So a lot can be done with just that one smoke landing where it is.
That's right. So now you can see it's very slow for them to try to work inside B. It's going to be a wall for plant. Orbing on the left side. Garage is looking to get a push, and it's going to be Drone getting the first headshot. Traded off by Effies, but then also traded off by Wardell. So a great job there, and we're working naturally towards C. So it was a fake wall And they reassess and fall back. Quinn unfortunately misses a shot, and Wardell takes the upper hand.
Revealing area.
Yeah, that's good from Wardell, giving it a little bit of patience, allowing his teammates to rotate in as we are seeing Gen.G forced through smoke. Player 1 able to get a kill onto Cutler here. This retake is a reality.
3-on-2 now. GMD is moving in. He does have a Bulldog trying to look back here in the back of C. Wardell is holding by the Nook inside that cubby with the Phantom. Or sorry, it was a Phantom, right? I know it is a Bulldog. All these new skins, it's kind of hard to see. But he does manage to get the headshot on to Sabrosa to upgrade here onto a Phantom himself. Now on a 2 versus 1. That clock is ticking down. I think he's just looking for some econ damage at this point too, because that bomb is going to go off. And there you go. So the round is going to come in here for... Oh, I thought he lagged out just in the radius of the bomb. That would have sucked. But he's going to be able to save that Phantom after all. So it's going to be 8-7. And TSM there looking to bring it back on the attacker side.
All right. Looking at where we are right now, does look like TSM, I mean, in terms of economy, if they lose this round, Alex, they'll probably have to fall onto an eco round. And, yeah. I mean, that's going to give a little bit more of a gap here, going to put a little bit more bang in the Gen.G side. So this is a massive round now for TSM. They need to pick this one up, or this momentum that they just picked up, they're about to lose it.
They're changing the pace a little bit here on the defender side. They're pushing down for some control on that mid. Because they're focusing a lot on the garage side, Effys is in a great position to try to capitalize on a first frag, especially hiding behind. And I like this. Again, it's going to be a double setup where if actually player 1 dies here, oh no, the molly is going to force them maybe both out. But they could still only think there's one player. Finally, they see them both, and it's traded off. So a great job there for TSM to take over that mid control.
That molly, man, that costed it. That was the cost of the round there.
GMD was still trying to peek out, but a nice curveball coming out from Drone is going to be able to fully blind him and get the easy kill. And it's looking very grim right now for the defenders.
Yeah.
Quinn is looking back to operate towards the garage door, while Cypher, Mikael, is moving inside B. So he's going to have to come up huge. He's done it before towards that A side. Cyber Cage dissipates, and now he spots them both here towards that towards those boxes at the entrance, but only manages to take down one. At least information given away on this 2 versus 1. Nguyen knows that one was headed towards that entrance of B, the other one was planning, so it's a 3 versus 1. And you can see him walking back towards the C side, so he's going to look to save his weapon here.
It's way more useful bringing that into an extra round, but we are going to have a tie game. And yeah, when we were just looking at that round and kind of how it played out, it was just really, I mean, the play towards middle, I really enjoyed. Pushing out, but once that Molotov pretty much landed in the window area where it did, it pushed both those players out, both Effys, and I believe that was, I'm not sure who the other player was, but it was the Brimstone player.
Yeah.
That caused Brimstone to pull out a smoke in efforts to, you know, kind of just smoke themselves out and give them protection. But he gets timing. Effys is forced to give his away a spot for the trade, and that's how that whole setup falls apart.
Yeah, so it was player 1 playing as that Brimstone too, so just a great job there for TSM being aware of any type of control early under that window. So Sabrosa knowing how to play his character, his agent as that Brimstone. So now 8-8, we're all tied up once again, and we have a full gun round in our hands in the second half. Cutler at 4-14, so somebody who's been getting a couple of kills in that previous matchup when they played against Immortals has been a little bit lower onto the board. Wardell, who was 1-7, now at 9-13. So he's stepping up to the plate earlier on, or later on in this matchup, but Nguyen opens it up with a pick. Was that through the smoke? Possibly, because they always do that smoke here on the top of C on the attacker side as well of TSM. And the first one to fall is going to be Drone. Jiggle Peak coming through, so Nguyen is waiting for that one now.
Prepare for hellfire.
Oh, he's gonna make it out. He's gonna heal himself up. An aftershock coming in from the garage, and his Effys is waiting for the long range shot. Does get dinked by Sabrosa, but stays alive at least. That's what's important. Last 3 players of TSM are gonna try to creep up slowly as a team. And Nguyen is holding a more passive angle instead of going for an angle peek. Shot missed by Wardell. Nguyen's going to try to slow him down. He does get the opener, and Wardell finally connects onto Nguyen. We're spraying through the Cyber Cage as well with 45 seconds left on the clock. It's up to Jet and up to the Cypher, so that is going to be Wardell and Cutler. Spike planet default.
The Mikhail, the trip actually went off, so they know he's flanking you.
Well, Ordell gives his position away here at the gray box as he shoots off the owl drone. Cutler on very low HP, so he's going to have to at least come up huge to maybe at least get one. Yes, it's actually crossfire, so they take both guys down inside CT. And now it's a 1 versus 1. He hears the footsteps. Mikhail, I don't know where he was looking. Maybe just looking to see if Cutler was going to try to surprise on the other angle. But a nice play there for TSM.
He out-meted, like Cutler out-meted the meta, basically. Cutler dropped off and was going to go around the right side, but he's like, no, he's probably expecting me to drop off and go around the right side. So I'll peek him, I'll drop off, but I'll stay on this side and I'll peek him from this side. And Mikhail, in turn, was like, oh yeah, he's going to drop off and then peek me from the right side of this box. And Cutler, like, definitely outplayed him in that 1v1.
Oh, this
Definitely.
is my spot.
Great play.
So this is going to put Gen.G back in a safe position.
Cage triggered.
I don't think I've seen much of a pistol upgrade. We do see a couple of ghosts. And a shorty as well from player 1 here at the sewers. So look at that. They actually have shorty playing by himself in sewers and 4 guys pushing towards long C. They are able to trade it off on to Sabrosa, so at least they get that position. But this is cool because Sabrosa's going to say, oh my god, they're rushing down C, go towards A. But that's where that shorty is waiting with the brimstone. But unlucky for him, they're actually moving towards long A instead. And they should be able to make it inside the site. Close range is going to be the Sage trying to look back through the corners. Drone trying to cut rotations. It works off with the first kill. Cannot connect with the second one. So a nice way to pull away the spray from his opponent to let the other one get the kill. So that is going to be the Sage that gets that frag. Player 1 does have orbital strike here towards short. Does get the kill onto Cutler.
I know exactly where you are.
This is going to be the Rolling Thunder coming across. Wardell has to land these shots right now as they're in a disadvantage against pistols, mind you. And now as Cyber Cage to come up. Fault line, a wall. He could jet forward. He does have... Oh my god. Nothing.
Wow.
That was so much CC at that A ramp.
Yeah, that round was completely one off CC. That was insane. They had nothing. They had nothing they could do to get back at them, get them off the bomb, do anything to slow them down. There was nothing. And that is literally a good display of ability usage. To all the viewers out there, they're wondering, you know, if I'm in a retake scenario, what can my abilities do? Well, you just saw it.
That was crazy. That was what? A Cyber Cage, a wall, frost orbs, and a fault line on top of that. So even if the Phantom Knives came out, sorry, the Blade Storm came out from Wardell, he couldn't do anything with that. So that's even on top of that, an ult wasted. Very, very nice play on that pistol round for, or that pistol save for Gen.G. Now we're going to try to switch gears. They're trying to take over mid control for TSM. A curveball to try to take mid. They see nothing yet. And they're going to try to assess into garage. So far, a very passive play inside garage as well, which is actually quite interesting. Rarely do we see garage being left unattended.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in here. They have a lot of control now. Look, they're just going to take over garage, pull a couple people out, leave a couple people looking towards C, just in case someone gets cocky enough to just kind of look in towards that garage. We'll see what happens.
I think what changes here, at least from their setup, is that they have a breach inside C. So they have flashpoints and aftershock as well to try to hold back any pushes coming in from that garage so that Nguyen could focus on opting towards long C if they try to go for a split. And here we go. We do have the split, and it's actually Drone that's moving up with the ult as well. Hayes does get the kill onto Nguyen. Meanwhile, we have tried to push inside the garage window, which didn't work out. So now we drop the spike because the drone's ultimate, the run it back, literally ran it back. So he drops it for Hayes to be able to plant it. Here comes that retake attempt. Location revealed. Oh my god, that was nice. But Gen.G runs out, gets the wall back. Player 1 as well onto Hayes. So just like that, it is a 4-on-2 situation. Drone long range, not really planted for him actually. But Color manages to get the wide swing, headshot Sheriff, and even a hot hands on the ground to take down Effies. And now it's a 2 versus 2. Hunter's Fury coming out. He does get the kill onto the second player, but I know exactly where GMD's at. Trying to go for a jump kill, and Drone manages to get the headshot. Triple kill on top of that, and that is one way to win a 4 versus 2.
Yeah, that was an intense round, but I mean, when we're looking at TSM, they're an intense team, able to pull it off there. It was looking pretty rough. When you have both players positioned in a essentially the same spot, right? Yeah, they were kind of spaced apart, but I mean, that's just easy to close out. And for most teams, it would be. But in that situation, I mean, Gen.G just wasn't able to do it. TSM able to take full advantage.
And this game continues to go back and forth here, Evan.
Yeah.
10-9 right now in favor of TSM. We do have a change once again where Gen.G is trying to go aggressively towards this mid side. So they're going for wall bangs, having two guys look back towards window and also the entrance of B spawn. And that is going to be Nguyen with the operator. But as they reload, they decide to fall back as they hear nothing as of yet. Maybe TSM anticipates this. That's why they're still staying towards spawn. And now they slowly try to come out and take control. But I think from Hayes, from this drop, possibly could have been heard by the Silva inside the garage, who's playing a very tight knit on that right side. And that's GMD. But it's smoked out right now where GMD cannot get any more information in that.
Yeah, we are seeing some spamming towards the door. Silva playing on the other side. A heavy presence towards the C, made possible because of those tripwires over by A. So you're going to see Cypher rotate over. He's playing towards that A connector onto B there, but it's going to be GMD to start the round off as Wardell quickly gets one as well.
We are moving into C right now. Wardell looking back with the operator, but would decide to fall back because of the flash points that came in from the breach on the defender side. Drone looking inside garage, does get the headshot onto GMD, powering up his run it back, needs only 2 more kills. And he's also cutting rotations, so they only have to focus on the Cypher inside B. But it's Big kills with the Spectre, looking for the third one. Off shot, missed by Wardell. There's only 13 seconds left on the clock. His teammate falls down. He's the last man standing. He needs to get this kill. He does try to go for a no-scope, but misses all of his shots. And then Mikael even goes for a jumping kill with the Spectre to tie things up on a 10-10 scoreline.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, that was exactly what needed to happen. I was looking at Mikael. I'm thinking in my head, hey, bud, if there's ever a moment to come up big, it's right now. And that's exactly what he does. Some great positioning, great spray control. And they're going to tie this one up. Like you said, Alex, back and forth is this game.
This game's awesome.
This game is Valorant. All right, double peek.
No, but I mean, sorry, Evan. You talked about how young a team like Immortal is, and the potential too. I think Gen.G young into the scene as well, as they started a little bit later than TSM did, but still stayed together in terms of CS:GO players. We do see a lot of potential coming out of this roster as well.
Definitely. Does look like right now a full retake on B, giving up C garage as well. So if I'm looking at this round right now, Alex, I think we see a good opportunity for spike plant, most likely towards B, and that does look like what we're going to see TSM drift towards. So let's see how this one plays out.
Which is totally fine too, because they are on an eco, right? You get a spike plant here, you get 300 credits for each player. You're going to build up the economy into the next curveball to try to move in. We even had brim smokes, so they did whatever they can into their advantage to get a spike down. And they managed to get a spike plant with 5 players still alive. So if they get good positioning here, they could still turn it around. Let's not discredit because it's TSM on top of that. So Mikael is rotating across the first one to look for the information.
Oh, we have
Rosa.
Multi.
Yeah. Oh, Effie's unfortunately though does get the kill onto Drone with the aftershock. It is walled up. There is that Brimstone ultimate. And that is going to connect onto Effie's. Meanwhile, they're trying to break this wall. They do manage to damage Mikael down to 70. And now 3 players with the beat shield as they're trying to defuse. That's amazing. 11-10, but, you know, they did some good damage here on TSM's side.
Maybe if they had rifles, it would have been a little bit different there, Alex, but
yeah.
With pistols, it's just too hard. What I was actually thinking was, when you're doing a plant like this, and I used to do this on Mirage when we were taking A site, and instead of lurking in middle, go on the widest lurk possible. So instead of lurking middle on Mirage, go through like B halls, jump out B halls, and go catwalk. You know what I mean? And like, I was thinking, well, what if we put somebody towards C cubby, and then when they plant B, that guy comes all the way around rather than going through garage, you know, where everybody's going to check. You could just give it a super long flank. You have the time. I don't know, just something to think about.
No, for sure, especially with the timer feeling a lot longer than we kind of do in CSGO as well.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of situations too where even diffuses come down to the wire where it seems as though it's been taken away eternally.
Got the spike.
So it could be doable for them to look into maybe in the future.
Definitely. Just
But into this round.
right now, we're still early into the game, so
That's right.
drafting. But nonetheless, is like you said, looking into this round, we are seeing development towards the A side of the map here. From the TSM side, Alex, it does look like Wardell is going to lead the charge with that operator in hand.
Unless they're able to clear out a bit towards this garage side, they could maybe have the players fall back because they still have a lot of time left on the clock. I mean, there's still 42 seconds. They're going to try to clear out B. So Cypher is waiting there at least, though.
Yeah.
Smoke's down.
I think we'll see Sage put the wall up.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Oh, but it's going to be a B hit. Drone now heading up first. Easily taken down.
And even the cyber cage should come up too, so they know that he was inside that corner. But a Molly cyber cage, and even now we have a location revealed from the recon arrow. That's gonna spot them all out. At least Wardell gets that shot onto GMD. That was a nice flick to come across. He's looking back towards the heaven side, and they do have 4 players alive for TSM to hold this bomb. 3 of them holding back towards spawn on his rotation, waiting for this Molly to dissipate, and now they run in. So Nguyen with the operator, Miguel moving in with the Phantom, trying to clear out the site. Drone gets the first kill onto Effie's. Offshot miss here by Wardell as Nguyen connects onto Sabrosa. Wardell is down to low HP as he did get sprayed earlier on, looking for the cover behind his own smoke. As that clock is still ticking down, and that's going to be it. The last 2 players have fallen back, actually, so that it could save to fight another round. But just like that, it's tied 11-11.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the distance.
Oh, I mean, what a way to start off of Grand Finals. A BO3. And on the first map, we're going the distance. If that's not telling our folks out here to stay tuned for the final 2 maps, which I'm sure we're going to see a third map, Alex.
Nice. I like that.
Right? We're going the distance. Both these teams can game, right? We're seeing an adjustment here, a new play there, a new approach, a new type of trade, a new position, a new cohesion of their abilities together. It's phenomenal to watch this right now.
Yeah, what I like to see so far from this matchup here is the way that the defenders are adapting to this matchup so far, right? Usually when I play or when you play in pubs or whatnot, it's like, okay, I'll cover C and I'm going to cover C the whole game. But these guys are really trying to adapt. Sometimes you have that double stack that they had towards that long side. This time they had a double stack going on towards the garage side. They're really trying to guess where TSM are trying to work so far and try to counter that. And even Mikael, we see him play towards the A side. Now he's playing towards C, and he gets killed, unfortunately, though, by drone. So it's going to be a 5-man push from TSM up towards the C side, wall up towards the garage. Should be an easy plan for now.
Yeah.
They do have a Brimstone ult that they're not actually using on the defenders. I think it was too far.
That Brimstone ult for the post-plant scenario in which they have to Brimstone ult the cubby.
Possibly. Because they do have the firepower to retake, so let's see if they can. So the first one, though, unfortunately falls down from an operator of Wardell. There is going to be that Brimstone orbital strike coming down, and Effie's gets the wall bang onto Drone, but Sabrosa through the smoke. Player 1 falls down. Blade Storm did not work often for Wardell. I'm hoping that it does this time, but they're too far away. The last 2 players looking to save once again and looking to bring this into sudden death. So we do have 12-11 in this first map. Map point in this best out of 3 in favor of TSM.
Yeah, this is a big map one right now. TSM on the verge of taking this one from Gen.G. However, I mean, if you're just tuning in, you missed quite a first map. This thing was going back and forth. I think at the start we saw Gen.G really take off with a couple rounds in the lead, and then TSM caught up, and since then it's been, all right, you'll take a round, then we'll take a round. You'll do something crazy, then we got something crazy in our back pocket, and this is only the start. 2 more maps.
Behind me.
Yeah, and if this is a true taste of what Valorant is going to look like as more and more events are coming, and not only that, more and more organizations and teams as a whole team with no influencers are playing in this as well, I'm excited to see how this meta is going to evolve and how it's going to be set first as defaults.
I can't get over the fact that Vandal literally sounds like a laser beam.
It's sick, dude. I love the aesthetics of the guns, too. So, Effie's going for a double stack inside garage. So that's what I was talking to you guys about before. So a double stack that was at A before is now happening towards the garage side. So you do have Mikael that's actually playing inside there with Effie's. Meanwhile, you do have Sage playing towards the B side. A crossfire setup from both B connector and A connector, and a solo player inside A with that brimstone there. And it's going to be, once again, looking to go for a wall up towards B, but another fake. It's not going to be a plant there, but it's going to give it an advantage for Sage and the Brimstone to even continue to push forward and maybe fight the Silva towards the connector side. Meanwhile, though, player one does get the wall bang onto Drone. That was sick. Meanwhile, though, they have lost GMD towards that connector side. So they are going for a pincer, and it's Hayes looking to cut the rotation from the spawn at the same time, but he loses the fight to player one. Sabrosa looking for the big plant. So for us, Mikael turns around, only damages him for 80. Or for 12, sorry. Now the spike has been planted. Rolling Thunder coming in here very soon, but Cutler is holding towards hell. Nice shot coming in here. A neural theft as well to give that position away. They're in a great position to hold this right now. Player one, though, onto Sabrosa, leaving Cutler. And Wardell, the last two remaining. Fully flash is going to be Cutler. Trying to go for the spray, gets the first. Player one looking for the ace. Wardell looking for the clutch. He does manage to get the shot onto player one to win the first map for TSM. 13-11 over Gen.G.
Yeah, I mean, that was close as it can get. Right down to the wire there, too. A one-on-one. You saw that fake bunny hop trying to jiggle peek the corner there, get Wardell to bait the shot. Wardell doesn't bite. And, I mean, there's the victory. TSM able to take that first map. 13-11. Drone on the top. 25 frags.
Yeah, and you haven't seen a lot, or we haven't cast, at least for me. Maybe I'm zoning out